Hi and Assalamualaikum. My name is Iwana Izzati. And for my digital illustration project, I chose a comic style which I presented in a white page or scenery of how I imagine outside of the cyberpunk city looks like, how deserted it can be, and how there is nothing out there except mountain and vast sky. The setting for my artwork is a contrast between the desert and inside the busy city. I have seen in many movies and games, there's a significant differences between these two locations, which intrigues me to create this artwork. The character for my artwork is actually a hero that people thought him as rebellious, and he also considers as mad and crazy. Hence why his face looks like Joker, inspired from Corazon. And in One Piece, Corazon is hated by many people, but he still fights for what he believes in, and along the processes, he also saves a child. And just like Corazon, although my character face looks cold, he's actually very kind towards children. As for the outfit, I chose techwear theme because techwear suits the genre of science fiction that I try to convey from my artwork. My character is holding a scythe as his weapon, and instead of other long-range weapons, a melee weapons, especially scythes, for me is considered as a cruel option for a weapon. So my character is not just strong, but is also someone who his enemies does not want to come near. As for the bunny doll, it represents a helpless child who is innocent and cared, which give rise a question as to why was it found outside and not inside of the city, and the answer for this remains a mystery. The poses from my character inspired from Maka Albarn from Soul Eater. The stance screams balance, and balance presents just. Alright, moving on to the process of my artwork. Firstly, I will sketch in Adobe Photoshop, and then I transferred it to Adobe Illustrator to trace the sketch, and then I transferred it back to Adobe Photoshop for coloring process. And these are my first attempt to sketch the character. I changed the weapons and the poses, and this is my final draft of Project 1. The first panel shows the location of the subject. There is a little bit of the city walls that you can see, roads, mountains, sky, and grounds. And then the second panel shows how he stumbled upon the bunny doll on the ground, which later he sat down to recognize the doll. There is also a sign of vector from the position of the side that travels from the left side to the rest of the artwork. I also designed the side based on the thunder or electric form to fit the genre. And as for the color scheme, these are my tries on trying out the right color for my artwork. This is the finalized color scheme for the artwork. I mostly use purple and reds to keep the color balance between both character and his background. And as for the side, the head on it represents danger, while the red for the character represents passion and strength. And as for the bunny doll, I colored it in pink because pink means peace, and it also represents the presence of the girl in the artwork. And as for the purple, it is to contrast to the character, which it also shows how toxic the ground was, hence why the people doesn't want to go outside, because the area outside of the town doesn't suitable for any human being. And here is the completed outside the walls digital illustration. You can see some parts are basket in light, and some are covered in shadows. This situation creates a gloomy and sad vibe. I also choose night for the theme because night in this artwork represents mysterious. And as for the giant city behind the character that looms over him, shows how the city dominates and influences the whole situation. And then, there are some techniques that I've applied in this artwork, and one of them is the gradient on the sky. I also used 3 tones color for one color, as you can see on the arm of my character. I also did my first attempt on coloring a metallic surface, and honestly, it was quite a challenge for me. And there's also ambience of light which comes from the moon and in the city, which resulted in the appearance of thin yellow line that you can see on the character, and this can only happen in the dark places, which add another reason why I prefer night for this project. And that's all from me. Thank you.